continuous integration and deployment. I mean, what does it mean? I'm telling you, it is a completely a integration and deployment. So whatever we developed, we are required to deploy in a particular server. So all the time, it is not required to use only the application. So there are some tools out there by providing the DevOps tools out there. By using the DevOps tools, we can use the integration and deployment. So can you see this diagram? So what are the tools we are going to use, and all the information is available in this particular diagram. So see this diagram, what is happening. So first of all, a plan is required. Okay, real time communication, a plan is required. So further, before that, we are using a AWS, means Amazon Web Services. We are using in the Amazon Web Services. It is providing a combination of all the tools, means they are providing the storage and for the purpose of developing a code, a scripting also provide all the things they are providing. So whatever there we are discussing in one by one. For that, first of all, we are required to understand what is DevOps. DevOps means, see, all the tools we are going to use, means in this particular diagram, they clearly mentioned what are we going to use. So for the build purpose, it was mentioned Git, GitHub, GitLab. So all these are the tools for build purpose. For plan purpose, IBM Rational, MATLAB, Office, MS Office, all these are using. So for deployment, we are using a Docker, Kubernetes, Puppet code. So for operating purpose, Jira and Mantis. So all these are tools we are going to use. The main thing is a continuous integration. Means continuous integration means what we are going to discuss is a continuous integration. Means what does it mean? I mean, we are some people are there. Means in a project, nearly 5 to 6 people are working. Consider 5 to 6 people are working. So 5 to 6 people are working at the same time to develop an application. Okay, I mean, is it audible for you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, they are developing a project for 5, 6 people. I'm considering a 5, 6 people are there in a particular project. What they are doing is they are developing a particular application. So 5 people are doing different tasks. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people are doing different tasks. They are updating or they are modifying the code in a similar way. So all the 5 people are working for the same project and they are continuously developing. So for that purpose, we are using a continuous integration tools, a Jenkins tool, a JMeter. So these are the tools which can be used for continuous integration. Means 5 people are there, they are developing a code. So continuously they are developing the code. So they have to deploy in a particular location. Before that, they are integrating the code, means they are combining the code, means some S1 is developed, S2 developed, S3 developed, S3, S4, S5 people are developed, and they are deploying the code in a particular Docker or Kubernetes somewhere. But in continuous integration, what happening is whatever they developed, it was completely moved into a deployment stage. I mean, some X1 is developed, S2 developed. See, it is a continuous integration process. Means they are developing from day one, some in the starting onwards. In the end of the day, they are modifying some code. So whatever they modified, it has to be deployed in a particular location. So continuous process of integration is done by using Jenkins or JMeter, some whatever the tools are there. So this process of doing means building, planning. So before that, a continuous integration. So all these things are happening in a DevOps tools. It means it is a combination of tools. We are talking about DevOps means it is a combination of tools. Whatever the tools we are going to use, all these are comes under DevOps. We are going to become a DevOps engineer after the completion of this particular course. We are becoming as a DevOps engineer. So before going to AWS DevOps, first of all, we are required to know some basic Linux commands. What we are going to know is basic Linux commands. So why we require only the Linux? Because when we are going to AWS means Amazon Web Services. We are going to use some servers for learning of the DevOps. We are going to use some servers, means we are calling it, we are calling them as instances. So we are going to use servers. What server we are going to use? We are going to use Red Hat or Ubuntu Linux server. Every time we are going to initiate a server, or we are going to start a server, a Linux server. In that Linux servers, we are going to use these tools. We are going to install all these tools. Means a Git, a GitHub, GitLab, a Docker, a Jenkins, okay, a Kubernetes or a Docker. We are going to use all these tools. Where we are going to use? In the Linux server only, we are going to install all these tools. We are continuously integrating and continuously deploying all the web applications. Means we are considering a web application, or we are considering a website. Some X website is there. Okay, I can call a website that is see. I'm calling some website. This is a website. What is DevOps? Some website is there. So this website, where it is available? Some Atlassian.com DevOps is there. Some website is there. It was stored in some server, right? It was stored in some server. So on which server it is stored? Whatever the server, it is a Windows server or a Linux server, whatever is there. In that particular server, the web application is developed and deployed in that particular server. So we are directly accessing that website. So in the same way, we are going to use some server. Means the Amazon, in the Amazon Web Services, we are going to initiate a server. In that server, we are deploying some applications. Oh, okay, I'm going to use GitHub or Git, some application we are going to install in that server. A Docker container. Docker is a container. So we are going to install the Docker container, some Jenkins application. All these things we are going to install in a particular server. So for that purpose, it is better to learn some Linux commands. First of all, we are required to learn some Linux commands to operate the server, because once we started using the server, how we are going to use that server? By using Linux command. When we initiated a Linux server, we can use commands to operate that. So we are required to learn some Linux commands. So these are some Linux commands. These are more than enough. All these whatever the commands I said, it is more than enough for learning purpose. I mean, I'm telling you, we are going to initiate the server. From Monday onwards, our regular class section will be started. So on that day, we are going to use the server. I'm telling directly about the DevOps and Linux command. I mean, I'm just introducing what is DevOps. And after that, we are required to know some Linux commands. So these are the basic commands. First of all, we are going to use a terminal. In the Linux, only the console system only we are going to use. I mean, a terminal is we are going to use. All the time we are going to use the terminal. Means for initiating the server. After that, after the initiation, when we are going to install some applications, when we are going to access the applications, all these things are going to be happen in a terminal mode only. So first of all, I'm introducing a Linux terminal. Means it is a Linux terminal. All the time it will be there. It will be accessing like this. Okay. In this, first of all, when we open up a terminal, what will be there? This is the host. I mean, whatever we are getting, some IP address we are getting, or whatever the username we are getting, this is the host. After that, this is the current directory. Means this is the complete path. Whatever the place we are in a particular position. Means we are entered into C drive or a D drive in the particular folder. We are accessing file. All these things means it is a path that what we are going to access. This is the current directory. At all the time, whatever it is displayed here, it is a current directory. Is it audible for you? Any response? Hello.
Sir.
Any response? Any?
Sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is something a terminal. In that I'm telling this one as a host and this is the path. So we can call it as the current directory. Whatever the directory name mentioned here, this is the current directory. We are calling it as a path. Okay, that is fine. I mean, I think all of you know that. What exactly a shell means? I am telling this as a terminal. Okay, this is nothing but a shell mode. What is shell exactly? After login into the Linux, we are calling it as a shell. Means it is a terminal. It is a console mode. I am telling the console mode name is a shell. After logging into the Linux, it is a program that is nothing but a shell. What shell is? The shell interprets commands, the user types and manages their execution. Means nothing but simply whatever we are typing here itself. Okay, it is continuously accepting or accessing by the server, a Linux server or a Linux machine. Okay, we are typing some commands here. Okay, where we are typing some commands we are typing. Okay, how it is communicating? So in the Linux operating system, there is a kernel. Kernel is the heart of the operating system. Whatever the operating system, it is a Windows operating system or Linux or whatever the operating system you have selected, a kernel is a heart of the operating system. Means whatever the user given a command, the command is executed by the kernel. Means it is the internal part of the operating system which will be communicated by the user and the operating system. Kernel is the key point or heart of the operating system. So in the Linux also there is a kernel. Okay, the most popular shells are TCSH, CSH, Corn and Bash. All the time we are going to use a Bash shell. All of you remember till the end of our section, we are going to use the popular shell as Bash. Okay, for this tutorial we are using the bash only. So tcsh, csh, corn, all these are the shells, but regularly in the real time also they are going to use the bash shell. Okay, next the command in the Linux. Whatever the help we required, there is a command called man. Whenever you need help with a command type, we are going to use the command man, and the command name as whatever we require. See how we are going to use the man command. So here, what manual page do you want? Okay, man echo. When you type a man command, it will ask you what manual page do you want. Simply it will man echo. So man, when you type man echo, what happened? So it will display echo display line text, echo option, whatever the options we have, string option and all the options, it will be displayed. So I am asking a help as echo command. I want to know what is an echo command. Simply I was written a command as a man echo. So what will display? It will display all these things. Echo display line of text. Means echo command is used to display the some line of text, whatever the text you mentioned. I mean, whatever you have written. So man, I am typing man cd a command. So cd command, what is the use of cd command? It will display the current directory. So man, I'm writing some command like string. So string, what is the use of string? String, it will accept a group of characters. So in the same way, we are writing the command names by using the man command. Okay, next thing. Okay, I have written echo hello world. What is the use of echo? Echo simply display the text we have written. Whatever I have written, echo hello world. So when I press on enter, it will display hello world. So what does it mean? I am simply displaying the text hello world by using the command echo. So echo is a command whenever you are required to display some text. So if you are writing a program, C program, so you want to display hello world. So simply you are writing printf in brackets you have written hello world. So what it will display? What it will display? Hello world. The voice hello world will be displayed. So in the same way, I am going to use using the Linux commands. So next thing is file system. In the Linux, what will be the file system? How we are going to use the file system? So here, all of you simply follow this. This is the main one we are going to use in the Linux file system. File system is the important one. We are required to observe how the file system will be. So in this Linux file system, everything, every folder or every directory will be separated by a slash, a forward slash. This is the forward slash. In that forward slash bin, etc, home, user. So these are the main directory or home directories. Bin, etc, home, user, all these are the main directories, means home directories. In that we have created some John or Mary, some users we have created. So simply by using the cd, the directory name, we can enter into the directory. Okay, this is the way that we are going to use in the Linux system. All the time we are using this file system. Whenever we are entered into the Linux system or Linux operating system, we are using the commands only. The commands will be whatever we are going to use, those are the commands, but this will be the file system. The forward slash bin etc are the main directories or home directories. In that we have created some directories. So in that particular directory also we have created a portfolio, means in the John, some folders are there. I mean, whatever the applications we have used or whatever the directories we have created in that particular John user, some directories are there. Those are calling as portfolio. Those are calling as portfolio. So there is one more command that is pwd. What is pwd? Present working directory. You are working on some particular directory, you are required to know the present working directory. Means, see what happened here. So zhome Linux tutorials pwd. So whenever you entered pwd in this particular location, it will display fs zhome 5 wihe in Linux tutorial. So the complete directory will be mentioned here by using this command pwd. Whenever you entered pwd, it will display the working directory, present working directory. So cd is a command we are required to know on particular, you are entered into some particular directory, you want to move into the home directory, or you want to enter into particular directory. If you want to enter into particular directory, cd space and the directory name, so it will be entered into that particular directory. If you want to come back to the home directory, simply you enter cd, automatically it will move into the home directory. So this is the way that we are going to use the cd command. Okay, these are all the commands. First of all, cd is a command we are required to use. So in the next thing is how we are going to use the cd command. These are the presentations, how we are going to use the cd command. Okay, cd, what happened here? I'm simply entered cd space all the directories names. So simply what happened, it was entered into that particular directory pwd. When you entered pwd, it was displaying the directory name. So on the next, how we are going to use, simply I entered cd. So what happened here, it was simply come back to zhome. What happened here, once you entered cd, it was come back to the home directory. So once you entered cd space 2 dots, what will be happened? It will move back to one particular directory. Means you are entered into the 3, 4, 5 directories. You are entered into the 4th directory, and you are asking to enter only into the 3rd directory. Simply what you are going to do, cd space 2 dots. So it will come back to the previous directory. So this is the way we are going to use the cd command. So a practice is required. Simply use this ppt, or you can search in Google basic Linux command. You can use the commands and do some practice. Simply open a terminal. I mean, you can for basic learning purpose, you simply write down Linux command practice. Simply you write down Linux commands practice. Simply you will find a number of tools are there. Linux online course. Okay. So all these are the tools there. You can, so this will be the basic labx.io Linux basic command practice online lab. Okay, simply you can use the commands here itself. Whatever the commands are there, simply you use these commands here for the practice purpose. These are the basic Linux command. You can use this command ls for we are using a list of files. Means once you entered into the directory, you want to see the files. Means in the Linux tutorials, I'm using this lx command. So what happened here? It was displaying the files aa_sequence.pl, data.dat, output.txt. All these are the files there in the Linux tutorials directory. So simply you entered ls command, it will display all these files here. So after that, this is also having options. ls has too many options. That is that uh, ls space hyphen l. When you entered ls space hyphen l, a long list will be displayed. Display a lot of information. What it will display? It will display lot of information. Okay, ls space hyphen t, sort by modification time. I mean, it was displaying some time. Means it was displaying all the files by using the time. I mean, it was mentioned a file is created on particular date at the particular time. Okay, some file is created on particular date and particular time. So all the files will be displayed with some sorting by time. So ls space capital S hyphen s. I mean ls space hyphen capital S. It will be displayed the files in a size. I mean, some file size is 1 MB, some file size is 1.2 MB. So it will be sorted by particular size. Okay, next one is ls space hyphen h, list of file sizes in human readable format. In the real time scenarios, we will never use this ls hyphen small h, because whenever we are using this DevOps tools, we are not required to use this hyphen h command. Okay, these are the options we have, but in the real time we are going to use lt and smaller. Okay, ls space hyphen smaller, reverse the order. The files will be displayed in a reverse order. Means I'm telling you, all the files will be displayed in a particular date only. Mostly the files will be displayed in sorting order, that is the date only. But when you entered ls space hyphen r, it will be displayed in the reverse order. Mostly we are going to use ls space hyphen a, I mean all. Okay, it will display all the files. Even in the hidden files will also be displayed when you are using ls space hyphen all. Okay, there is one more command, that is ls space hyphen ltr, list files by time in reverse order with long listing. This is one more important command we are required to use, that is ls space hyphen ltr, list files by time in reverse order with long listing. So please all of you observe this command, ls space hyphen ltr.
సార్ మీ వాయిస్ వినిపించడం లేదు. శ్రీకాంత్ సార్, సార్ మీరు మ్యూట్ లో ఉన్నారు.
Yeah, is it audible now?
ఎస్ సార్.
Okay, so this is the basic Linux command, that is ls space hyphen ltr, list files by time in reverse order with a long listing. I mean, this is a list files by time in reverse order with a long listing. So this is also one of the important command we are required to know. So next one is general syntax. So star command. So what is the star command? Star can be used as wildcard in Linux. I mean, wildcard means I'm asking you to display only one particular extension of files. I mean, ls space star.pl. So what does it mean? Okay, it was displaying only aasequence.pl, actg.pl, hello world.pl. Mean I want to display only .pl extension files. What does it mean? dot pl extension files, simply ls space star dot pl. I mean, I want to display ls space star dot api, ls space star dot txt. So it will display only text files, so it will display only api files. So this is the way that we are going to use the star command in a Linux environment. This is completely a Linux environment. We are going to use the command whatever I am mentioning here. If possible, write down these commands in a paper or a book, or you can directly search it on Google. You can find the Linux basic commands in Google. You can do some practice here. This is the lab that we are going to use for learning the basic commands. Start lab. When you click on the start lab, you will be able to log in into the Linux system. It was required some credential. I mean, you required to use some mail ID and all you are required to enter. Once you entered all the details, it will display Linux terminal. You can use these commands. Okay, and the next one is mkdir. So for today, I'll explain you the commands. If possible, tomorrow I will show you the lab section. Means in the lab section, we are going to use these commands. Whatever the commands I mentioned to you today, you are going to use by tomorrow. Okay, one more command is mkdir. So what is this mkdir command? Mk means make directory. If you want to create a directory in particular location, whatever the location you selected, if you want to create some directory, simply mkdir space the directory name. I'm telling you mkdir space the directory name. So simply you can create the directory. So how I was created a directory, simply use this mkdir space new underscore directory. So what will be happened? A new directory folder is created. A new directory folder is created. Mkdir space new directory. So what happened here? A new directory is created. Simply you can check mkdir space new directory. ls, once you enter the ls, it will display the list of files. Ls means list of files. Ls, once you return a command ls, it will display new underscore directory. So this is the way that we are going to use the ls command and mkdir command. After that, rmdir. So what happened here? What is the use of rmdir? It will remove the directory. To remove an empty directory, use rmdir. So I was created directory, that is new underscore directory. I want to delete the directory. How we are going to delete the directory? Simply rmdir space the directory name. So what will be happened? It will be deleted. So you can see that rmdir space new directory name I mentioned. So what happened here? Simply it was deleted. Once you entered the ls command, there is no new directory folder. So previously ls new directory is there. Once you written the command rmdir space new directory, so it simply deleted the new directory which was created by us. So once you entered ls command, it will display that there is no new directory because it was removed, displaying a file. So there is a way that we are going to display some files. Various ways to display a file in Linux. So cat is a command. Once you entered cat space the file name, it will display the file. Whatever the content is there in that particular file, it will be there. So this is the command that cat is a command. So less is also a command. It will display the content in a less manner. Okay, head is a command that we are going to display. A head means the top page of the top section of the file, it will be displayed. I'm telling you cat hello world.txt. In the hello world.txt, some data I was written. So I want to display the data in that particular hello world.txt. Simply I use cat space hello world.txt. So what it will display? The content in the hello world. Less is a command, it will display less content. Head is a command, it will display only the header section, means the top page of top section of the particular text file. Tail is a command, it will display the bottom section of that particular file. So these are the ways that we are going to use the cat, less, head, tail commands. So the purpose of cat, less dumps an entire file to standard output, good for displaying short simple files. Cat is a command, it will display entire file. Okay, next head, display the top part of the particular file. By default it will show the first 10 lines. So okay, if you want to display up to 50 lines, you can use the head space -n 50 file.txt. It will display the 50 lines of the file text. So don't worry, I will share this ppt to all of you. You can see and follow the commands by watching this particular file. Okay, head is the command, it will display the header section. So for an example, I was written headlines.txt. So what it will display? A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, I, J, only 10, up to 10 it was displayed. So A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J means 10 only. Okay, it was displaying 10 only. So tail is a command. Once I was written tail lines.txt, it was displaying last 10, means Z, Y, X, V, U, T, S, R, QP. So these are the 10 in the lines.txt tail. Okay, next one is copying a file. The next one is copying a file. So CP is a command we are going to use in the Linux for copying a particular file. So I mean, I am copying a file that is lines.txt. Okay, this is the file that we have. CP lines.txt is a file. So I want to copy this lines.txt file from Linux tutorial to some other folder. So simply I was written cp lines.txt to particular folder. I mean, we have to enter the command cp. I will show you how we are going to use it. So for removing or moving section, we are going to use mv and rm. Okay, cp command. How we are going to use the cp command? First of all, see this. To copy a file, use cp a command. So how we are using? So there are some files. In while enter this ls command, it was displaying list of files. So I'm using the cp command. Cp data.dat data2.dat. So what I'm doing is simply creating a file. Means data.dat is a file. There is some data. So I want to copy this data.dat to data2.dat. Simply the same data what is there in the data.dat. I want to copy this data into data2.dat. So it was creating simply data2.dat with the same data as data.dat. So this is the way that we are going to use the cp command. Cp to copy a file. Cp means to copy a file. So simply what happened when we entered a command ls, it was simply displaying data2.dat. Data.dat is there, data2.dat is also there. So this is the way that we are going to use the cp command. So next one is mv, to move a file to a different location. Okay, how we are going to use? So I have created a new directory. I was displaying some whatever the data directory we created. I was simply displaying that. And next I'm using move. MV means move data2.dat to new directory. So how we are written that dot slash means we are there in a Linux tutorial folder. I mean, we are there in a Linux tutorial folder. So in that Linux tutorial folder only data2.dat is there. Simply observe that we are there in the Linux tutorial folder. I was simply entered ls command. Okay, it was displaying all the files in the Linux tutorial folder. So I'm simply copying data2.dat to new directory. Means I want to copy this data2.dat to new directory. So what I'm doing is mv data2.dat to new directory. So how we are required to enter? So we are required to enter mv data2.dat. After that there is a space and dot is required. Whenever you are required to enter into a particular directory, we are required to mention like this dot slash new directory. So what will be happened? It will simply copying data2.dat and it will search for the new directory. Means Linux kernel what will do is whenever you have written this type in this way, the kernel will search for the new directory folder and it will find and move the data into that new directory folder. So this is the way that we are going to copy the data2.dat to new directory. I mean, not we are copying, we are moving. But in the same way, we can copy by using cp command. The writing of the command is same, but move and copy are the two different commands. Moving is simply moving that. Copying means creating a new file with the same data. Copying is for creating a new file with same data, but moving means we are simply moving the data from one particular directory to another particular directory. So we are simply moving that. So once you entered in cd new directory, there is a command that cd new directory. It was simply entering into the new directory, and in that particular directory, I am writing a ls command. So when we return that ls command, it will display the data2.dat. Any doubts? Anybody have any doubts? Please ask. You can write in the chat section. If any doubt, you can write in the chat section. Some Mahesh is written that no doubts. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, for copying purpose and moving purpose, moving of the files or copying of the files, this is the way that we are going to. Is this file for our only? I mean, someone asked, sir. Just a minute. Is this file or only data, sir? I mean, the data means it is nothing but a file only. Whatever the data we are considering, that is there in the file only. Okay, someone asked MDR. It is not MDR. It is MKDIR. Okay, MKDIR means make a directory. See, all of you, MKDIR. Oh, what is this MKDIR? I want to create a directory in some particular location. I want to create a folder. Directory means nothing but a folder. So I have created a new folder. How I have created MKDIR space a new directory. So what will be happened here? It was creating a new directory. MKDIR space new directory. So what will be happened? It was creating a directory. So in that particular directory, we can create files or something. In the Windows section, we are creating a new folder, right? If you click on some particular location, right button, if you click on right button, there is a option new. So in that you are creating a folder. So in the Windows section, we are simply creating the folder by using a right click option, new folder. But in the Linux environment, we are going to use a command that is mkdir space the directory name. So simply it will create the directory. Okay, any more doubts? Okay, this is the way that we are going to use mkdir. Difference between Unix and Linux. Unix and Linux means Linux means simply you are calling a Unix section means, and Linux means simply Linux is a Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu Linux. All these are Linux environment. Unix is also nothing but whenever we are using a command prompt, I mean we are using the terminal section, it is also comes under the Unix section. Unix and Linux will be the same only. Okay, and the cloud will be, our cloud section will be started from Monday. MV command is for moving purpose. See, all of you. MV, what is the difference between MV and CP? CP is copying simply the data or a file, simply copying, and it was creating a new one. Okay, someone asked me, sir, you don't know the meaning of DevOps, how you will teach it. So meaning of DevOps, what do you know? Tell me. Arya, what do you know? Tell me. If you have any guts, directly tell me. If you know the meaning of DevOps. Linux and Unix are same. Simply in the starting section, I was clearly connecting to Unix Linux system. I shown you. If you know well, drop the section. No issues. I know it well means you can drop the section. No issues in that. Who asked you to join? Simply that the starting itself, the second slide is mentioned connecting to a Unix Linux system. It was simply mentioned Unix Linux. So who asked that what is the difference between Linux and Unix? Okay, if you know in 5 minutes, you can know, no issue. Why you asked that? Why you joined in the section? If you know DevOps, there is no it is not required to enter. There is no need of joining the section. You can simply drop the section, no issues. Arya is disturbing the class. Okay, you can drop the section. Other students will think that whether to stay in this section or you can leave. This is not your job. You simply drop that. Arya, you can simply drop that. That is better for everyone. Okay, next section. So file permissions and all we will see in the next section. If anybody have some doubt, you can ask. If anybody in the section know what is Linux and DevOps, you can drop the section. You are not required to attend. If you do not have any idea, you can join. For the demo purpose only, I was started this Linux commands. No one will explain the Linux command. You can simply watch the Linux commands in YouTube. No one will explain. In the YouTube only Linux commands will be there. You can simply watch the Linux commands. It is not required for the demo purpose only.